One of the most important things, guys, I'm going to get you to do is plan your day before you start it. So that's a massive key to your success. Planning before you start. So every day starts the night before. So that means that you plan what you're doing, plan your exercise. You already input all your food into MyFitnessPal so that you know already up front that what you're going to do is going to equal to the result that you're trying to get. So this rolls in nicely into our 7 relapse mistakes. So before you start any journey, you need to understand, why are you constantly relapsing? So that's gaining weight, losing weight, gaining a dress size, losing a dress size. You're up and down, up and down, up and down. Because until we nullify these lapses and these events or whatever's happening to make you relapse, then it's just going to continually happen. And you're in a vicious circle of high weight, low weight, large, small, motivated, unmotivated. You're just in that vicious circle, guys, rather than making it a long-term plan. Okay, so I know a lot of people that have lost 200 pounds. So you're thinking, right, 200 pounds, that's amazing. But it's not, because these people that lost 200 pounds are just people that have lost 20 pounds 10 times. So they go around telling people, I've lost 200 pounds. Not really. It's because they lost 20, gained 20, lost 20, gained 20. So it's up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's not good for your motivation. It's not good for your self-esteem, confidence, the way you think about yourself, the way you feel. Okay, we all have tiny little peaks and troughs, but we want to try and minimize. We don't want to be on a euphoric high and then a really bad low, up and down, up and down. So we need to look at the 7 reasons that and things that you're probably doing that's making you relapse. Okay, so let's make sure first off that we're prepared to pay the price. So before you start any journey, and it's got to be a long-term journey, before you start anything, you need to look at what is required of you. So you know straight out there and then, am I prepared to do the work? Because if you're not prepared to do the work to get the goal that you said that you wanted, you have to reevaluate your goals. Okay? There'll be a certain level of work, whether you speak to your personal trainer, whether you speak to me, whether you speak to your fitness instructor, whoever, they will tell you the work required to get the goal that you want. If you're not prepared to do it, reassess. If you are prepared to do it, great, crack on. But a lot of us start and we don't actually assess what is required. Because if you're to lose a pound a week, then we need to be burning 500 calories from exercise, or we need to be having 500 calories less in your diet. Either one will create that loss for you. The best way for it, guys, is not either one or the other. I would go 250 calories on your fitness and 250 calories on your nutrition. So a little bit of both will be stronger than looking at just one area. So, if hunger, guys, on the screen, if hunger is not the problem, eating is not the solution. Okay? If hunger is not the problem, eating is not the solution. So we've got the cycle of dieting on the screen here. So number 1, the desire to lose weight, that instantly comes. Number 2, decide to diet. Obviously that follows. 3, introduce strict dietary rules. Remember, when we introduce rules, us as humans, we love to break rules. We don't like to be told, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, because we feel very restrictive. So we need to have a flexible diet that you can have for the long run rather than the short term. So you need to make sure that when you are dieting, it can't be that strict. Okay, number 4, initial weight loss and you feel great. We all know that instant first couple of weeks, results will come dead easy. 5, bored with diet and feel deprived. Okay, so that's just your own mental weakness in the fact that you cannot sustain what you started. So that comes back to number 3, having a flexible diet. Okay, because if it's very restrictive and you feel that you cannot stick to it, you shouldn't have started it in the first place, because you know that's going to lead to relapse. Okay, number 6, weight loss slows down. Unhelpful thoughts. What else am I supposed to do? I'm not trying hard enough. Okay, so this is when the self-doubt comes in. Okay, you know that we've all been there. Self-doubt, where we question whether what we're doing is right for us, whether we're not committed enough, whether it's too hard, whatever. It's because the results are slowing down. So instead of adjusting your intensity and your nutrition, you decide this program isn't working for me. When the program does work, it's just that you're not working with it. Number 7, break strict rules leads to thought, I've blown it, I may as well give up. So we're the type of people that relapsers tend to be the type of people that when we have 1 cookie, we have to have 42 cookies. When we've had 1 pack of crisps, we have 2 pack of crisps. We can't just have 1 of something and stay controlled and reset. We have the mindset where we think, oh, well, I've gone off it, so I may as well just quit. When that's not the case. Okay? We need to learn to reset. Okay? Not any journey is just going to be like an upward climb where you just get more successful, more successful, more successful. You are going to have moments, but that a moment doesn't define your life. It's just one area of your life. So for every bad moment, it's like having an argument with your partner. You can't just quit your relationship, because you'll have 42,000 relationships in your life. Every time you do it, if you did a bad report in work, you can't just quit your job just because you got bad feedback. Okay? We can't be a sensitive snowflake, guys. We've got to be strong. Okay? So then it goes into 8, weight gain due to cravings and forbidden foods. That word forbidden, guys. Okay? When you're told not to do something, it's like when they come out with a hot plate in a restaurant, they tell you not to touch the plate, waiter turns around, what do? Touch the plate. Okay? That's because we're told not to. Our mind is like playing games with us, thinking, ooh, how hot is that actually? And it's the same when you're told you can't have this, can't have that, can't have this. And all you're thinking about, fuck me, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And when you're hungry, all you think is, I want sugar, I want sugar, I want sugar. Then when you think of sugar, you think of sweets, you think of chocolates, you think of anything that's going to boost your energy up. Okay? And then number 9, now you've had all this, you give up altogether. 10, you reach your previous weight, or maybe even a little bit more. And then the circle starts again. The time the next boot camp comes along, or then you see the next diet, or you have the next little bit of motivation in your life. Okay, so it's a vicious circle. But with regards to the problem, guys, the relapse problem is not food. Okay, so hunger is not the problem. Okay, that's not what starts us to relapse. So eating is not the solution. So when you've got a problem in your life, okay, if you're stressed out, that doesn't mean you're hungry. So you don't have to eat. If you've had a row with your boyfriend or girlfriend, that doesn't mean you're hungry. So don't eat. If you're celebrating a birthday, that doesn't mean you're necessarily hungry. So don't eat. Okay? Not everything has to lead to food, guys. So it's not a mystery as to why people relapse. We've gone through a few pointers already. It's because 1, people lose excitement. Okay? They lose that initial excitement that they get from starting a new program, because everything's fresh, everything's new, motivation's high. So for the first few weeks, everyone stays on track. Then when week 3 to 6, this is where we find out the fucking committed people. We find out the committed people every Friday, Saturday and Sunday. you'll find out how committed you are to your goal every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because you find out when you don't want to do something, even though you have to, when you don't want to do it, you find out really how committed you are. Okay, so it's not a mystery. Okay, so we need to kill the source problem, whatever that source is, that single reason as to why you keep quitting, why you keep having to start a new program, why you're a starter and not a finisher, why you keep starting program after program after program, looking for a new trainer, looking for a new diet. The diets work, guys. The trainers are good. Everyone follows kind of the same shit. Okay? It's all down to you. Okay? So number one, choosing the wrong diet. This is a number one reason why people relapse. Okay? So before you start any journey, make sure the diet that you're following, you've spoke to a professional who's got a little bit of credibility, not a juice plus wanker. Okay? Make sure they've got a bit of credibility, they've got proven results, and speak to people who have got the body shape that you want. Okay? Speak to them and they'll tell you what diet they're following. And sometimes it's just a bit of trial and error. Okay? You'll only know what diet's right for you is if you can sustain it for the long run and if the feedback is correct. So when you're weighing and measuring yourself, it's on par with what you actually want. Otherwise, there's no point continuing with a diet that is simply not giving you what you actually want. Okay, number two, unrealistic deadlines. Okay, so guys, we're in the day and age of we want everything for nothing. We want it in the shortest time periods. We want it as fast as possible because everything, bar weight loss and fitness in this world, is getting quicker. But to burn calories and increase fitness, burn fat, whatever you want to call it, is the methods stay the same. So everything around us is getting quicker, quicker, quicker. So I can understand why you think you should be able to get results quicker. But you've still got to put in the work in every single area. Okay? So unrealistic deadlines. So you need to speak to a professional, talk about your weight loss goal, and plan and prep it out. Work off a realistic weight loss. So that's roughly £2 a week. Okay? Any more, that's a bonus. Okay? Any less, then you know you need to up your game a little bit. Okay? So, and with your goals, make sure they're not little puny goals. Yeah? It's better to aim high and not quite hit than aim low and hit. Yeah? So aiming low and hitting continuously, okay? So you're only actually reaching small goals all the time rather than hitting the things that you actually truly want to hit. So don't be afraid of testing yourself. And when you do set these goals, tell people about it. Tell people, your trainer, your coach, friends, family, tell people about what you want to achieve and then constantly document it, update people because you're more likely to do it. Okay? Number three, abruptly stopping. So a lot of people start a course, it could be an 8-week, 12-week, or start the gym. They start this correct diet, everything's going well. For some reason an event happens and they abruptly stop and then they go back to straight away all their bad eating habits. All it's asking for is weight gain. Okay? You can't be on a negative calorie restrictive diet and then go back to your normal eating and expect not to put on weight. Okay? You have to remember the diet that you're on has to be long term. It can't be short term. Okay? Only if you want short term results. If you want to look good, feel good for 3 to 4 weeks and then feel shit again for another 3 or 4 months, then okay, that's up to you. But if you want long term success, because I'm guessing that a lot of you will want to feel good for long term, then you need to make sure that when you finish a program, you can't just stop. And this comes by planning ahead. making sure that you've got your next stage, your next stage, your next stage. Okay? Planning will always equal better success than non-planning, guys. Again, returning to your previous calories, I just touched on that then. You cannot go from having 2,000 calories a day, then reducing it to 1,500 and losing weight, and then hitting your goal weight, and then your body maintains itself at 1,500, and then all of a sudden you go back to the way you want to eat because you can't be arsed anymore, motivation's dropped, and then not expect the weight gain to happen, because it will happen. If you're eating more and doing less and going back to your old routines, you are going to put on weight. So number 3, dichotomous thinking. Okay, so this is, it's black or white. Black or white thinking. Okay, so I either have to eat the whole pack of Pringles or none at all. I can't just have one. Okay, I'm all or nothing. Okay, that's just a story that you're telling yourself in your head. We weren't born all or nothing. You just have a very bad lack of control. Okay, and we all have it. We all have binges, we all have moments, but you can't convince yourself that everything you do is all or nothing. Okay, because then you're buying your own opinions of yourself. You're accepting that it's okay to eat everything you want rather than have a little bit, or it's okay to just quit because you're all or nothing. No, you're not all or nothing. Okay, you've got to be able to find that grey line between like either overtraining or undertraining. There's got to be a little bit in the middle. Okay, being flat out on a diet or not on a diet anymore, and that's healthy eating. Okay, setting goals one week and you're flat out, then not setting goals again for another 6 months. They've got to be regular, they've got to be consistent, and there is a grey. Perpetual dissatisfaction, guys. So this is where you are never satisfied with anything. Sometimes you might not actually hit your goals, but there's always a lesson to be learned, and you can always pull something positive from it. Okay, you might not have lost the 3 pounds you're aiming for, you lost 2. Okay, great. How did you lose 2? How can we work upon that? There is a confidence that you can take from any result. Not always will it be the result you want, but any result results in confidence. So you can use that to propel yourself forwards. Okay, and we all know not many of us are ever going to be satisfied with our body, our figure, our weight. We're not ever going to be happy, because when we hit something we want more. When we hit it we want more. So we tend to be not satisfied ever. So if you think about that, are we ever going to reach perfection? Probably not. So we need to find a level that you're going to hit, that you can maintain in your life, where you're happy with your figure, where you can wear the clothes you want, where you can feel confident, where you can feel sexy, and you can do whatever you want without worrying about how you feel and how you look. Once you hit there, guys, then perfection's not needed. And last one, poor coping mechanisms, guys. So you see here, booze. So booze, binge eating, oversleeping, we've even got pot in there, drugs. So a great coping mechanism for stress, and we all have it, we all have to deal with it, life stress, is exercise. Because the one thing about exercise, forget about weight loss, forget about anything else regarding slimming down, exercise makes you feel good. No one's ever done a workout and said, oh, I feel worse for that. They always walk out thinking, and you will have as well, I'm glad I did that. Okay, so what's your coping mechanism for when your life hits, when shit hits the fan in your life? How do you deal with it? Okay, because that's another moment. Because if you're going along your journey and this event keeps happening, and then you stop and then you go back to another program, it keeps happening, you need to find out this stress or this factor that's happening in your life that keeps continually showing up, and you need to deal with it. Okay, or otherwise you're going to be a roller coaster all the time. And that's with your weight, your emotions, your confidence, your self-esteem. You have to deal with the reasons as to why you keep relapsing. Okay, only you will know that, and you've got to take a lot of balls to actually sit down and honestly say, why the fuck am I not continually doing the work when I know deep down that everything I'm doing with regards to my exercise and my nutrition is only going to make me feel good. So why am I doing stuff that doesn't make me feel good? Why are you punishing yourself? Okay, so conclusion, guys. Boom. It's down to you. Okay, your relapse is down to you. You need to figure out what the fuck's going on in your life. You need to figure out a diet that you can follow. You need to figure out an exercise regime that you can commit to. Okay, you need to always have a plan B, because plan A is great, but shit happens in life, stresses happen, things that you not always can prepare for happen. So you need to think, right, what's plan B? Just in case. Okay, you need to plan your day before you start your day. So that's the day before. Know where you're going, what you're doing as much as possible, and get your food ready. Okay, and you need to look back on all your previous attempts at weight loss or fitness improvements, whatever, and you need to look at the moment as to why did you quit. Then once you've got to that moment and you really dig deep into it and you're honest with yourself and you speak to someone, you can then start to find a coping mechanism around that event that can make you continue your journey. Because sometimes you're not always in gear 6, you might be in first gear just plodding along, but as long as you keep going, okay, you're never going to hit goal after goal after goal after goal. So you have to accept that, because it's unrealistic for you to think that every target you set you're going to hit. All the successful people, guys, fail and fail and fail. It's just that they learn and take lessons from their failures and they don't keep repeating them. Okay, so I hope this helps you with relapse, guys. So you need to make sure you deal with these problems before you start anything.